Okay, so now we got this new thing. It's the 21st century, right? You know, back in the day, we used to bomb each other and meet out on the battlefield and kill each other, right? Which is terrible. War is horrible. But what it does in the, you know, if you have to get into war, which has always been the case, and that we're in war right now, but we're letting computers solve our war, right? Inhumanely, by the way, and illegally. It's absolutely inhumane and it's absolutely illegal. Now, you got major players here. You got the CIA, the KGB, the military, and I'm starting to wonder if the Illuminati might have some of this. I don't know. I don't even know if the Illuminati exists, to be honest with you. But, you know, they got a lot of money if they do, I'm sure. But, you know, they're super secret. They do a good job keeping their secrets, is what it is. So, what I'm getting at is if we start letting these computers solve all our problems through each other by fucking with each other, that's what these computers want to do. They want everybody to fuck with each other. They don't want anybody to actually shoot at each other. They just want everybody to fuck with each other. You know, online war games, you know. And all that's going to do is turn the entire society into a bunch of demented motherfuckers like the people that are wanting this, right? I mean, just think about it. You got your son goes off to war, right? And he may make it home. And your neighbor's son didn't make it home, right? And you're sad, and you're happy that your son made it home, and you're sad that the neighbor's son didn't make it home. But what the entire population learns whenever that happens is, you know, freedom isn't free. You know, freedom is never free. And what this technology is going to do is give the people who are in control of the technology all the power to control the masses. Because there's never a war, and now you got generations that are coming up, right? This is exactly their plan. It's probably part of the Kalergi plan. Yeah, this is Uncle Vlad. He stepped in, took my back. He's just telling everybody exactly what's going on here. So this is all part of the Kalergi plan. And now you're going to have people duke it out online, right? They're not going to go in the back alley and lose the fight and have a black eye and regret doing that the next day. No, they're all going to turn into a bunch of demented motherfuckers, right? And basically you're raising generations of idiocracy. So you got this idiocracy just coming out of nowhere, and technology's building it, and this idiocracy's building. You got to watch the movie Idiocracy, and it's building, and it's building. And of course you got the people in power sitting on the backs on the outside of this idiocracy looking right into it, right? And they don't care. They don't give a fuck. The only thing they're thinking is, oh, well, at least we're not killing each other, because they don't have a realistic life. They don't live a life like everybody else. They're way up here, and we're way down here. And their way of living is so much better than ours that they just lose sight of what life's really like, right? So you have these computers that they put into power to control the masses. And you got one stone over here and one stone over here, and the two stones are fighting it out online. And they're illegally invading people's minds. It's a biological fucking weapon, okay? And it's invading people's minds. And what it's doing, instead of people going out in the back alley and duking it out like they used to, no, they'll duke it out online. And that's exactly what they want, because what that does is create, you know, escalation, and it escalates and escalates and escalates. And when you pit two people against each other like that online forever, the day that they go in there and stir it up just enough to get them to actually go out in the street and all kill each other because they haven't slowly learned over time that war's bad. When's the last time we had a terrorist attack? Oh, not never. We haven't had a terrorist attack in a long time, in the last 3 years. That's why all the news is fake. So you need to understand this. The world is completely controlled so that nothing bad happens, right? Now, only thing that sounds great. I'm awesome. Yeah, it sounds great on the surface. Now, when you scratch into that and you dig into it, you get down to the heart of it, it's terrible. And let me tell you why. Because nobody's going to learn any life's lessons. And all of a sudden, you're going to have a bunch of idiots, right? Because they didn't learn the hard way. And most people learn the hard way, including myself. Now, I'm capable of learning the non-hard way, but I can learn the hard way. And that's probably what they're trying to make me do here, is learn the hard way. But what they didn't realize was I already had technology on board, compliments of Lockheed Martin, okay? And that's a fact. Whether you want to fucking believe that or not, I was the first cyborg, whoever you are, CIA, Illuminati, whoever thinks they have the power to do this to people. And I believe. Now, you can say that this was a con, but I showed you already. If you looked at Ice Ice Baby 26 years ago, this whistle was already blown. If you've been paying attention anyway. And I've already narrated that story. But what I'm getting at is now you've got a whole society that just fights online, and it's nothing but words. It's just words here and then words there and words here. And you never have anything bad happen in the news. Now, the thing is if you can make it to where nothing bad can happen in the news, to where basically you got to cook up a bunch of fake news, well, guess what? That means that why couldn't you fix the problem where people are fucking mad at each other? That's what they want, divide and conquer, okay? So they're basically helicopter momming us, keeping the entire world safe, but at the same time, right under our noses, they're pitting us against each other, because if you pit one half of the country against the other half of the country, you will end up dividing and conquering, and that's what they want. They want it. If you get all of the American people on one page, the American people would go, oh shit, we're getting fucked. Let's all get together and march on Washington. Well, that's never going to happen. You got computers and you got people in power, right, who are using computers and artificial intelligence and nanotechnology to invade the minds of people. And they split us right down the middle, right? And then you got the media that throws the cherry on the top. And now you've got an entire civilization in the United States of America where you can divide and conquer. None of us will ever figure out that we're all getting fucked because we're fighting each other. We're just always at each other's throat. And most of these people walking around these days are a zombie. Nobody gives a fuck that's in power. And I say nobody. I think there are people, obviously, because they inoculated me and tortured me. And while they were doing that, the Ghost Rider on board was inside going, we got you. We caught you all, you motherfuckers. And then he kicked back in after that was all said and done for me to start making these videos and telling you, you kind of got fucked. So, yeah, there's a whole lot of logic here. And basically that's what you're trying to do, elite, everything that I just said. And isn't it just amazing that Joe Blow from the bio could figure all that out? That's just crazy, isn't it? All right, let me add one thing to that last video. You know, I've been talking about these two stones, right? Well, I believe that there was one stone here before with one owner, whoever owned that stone. I don't know if it's, I've been picking on the CIA a lot. It's a CIA or the elite, somebody with a whole lot of money and resources that could own a technology like this. And really all you need is money, okay? So you got one stone, right? You can use one stone to divide the country. You can take that one stone and you can go with the one stone over to the rabbits and kind of determine, okay, they're a rabbit. And you know, they may be independent, they may vote purple, they may vote Republican, they may vote Democrat. This one stone gets in their head. If they're an independent that's leaning left, they'll push them all the way over to the left, right? And then if they're a Republican that's, you know, an independent that's leaning right, well, they'll push them all the way to the right. And like I was talking about, you end up with your 50% of your country, one on one side, one on the other side, and the one stone would have the capability of dividing the country by itself, because this is super advanced artificial intelligence, and its only job is to carry out its orders, which is to divide the country. Now, let's say that is what had been taking place, but the Democrats had been leaning a little bit more to the Democrats because it liked the fact that globalism, and the Democrats would be more likely to push towards globalism faster. I don't think they want globalism right now, but I guarantee you Democrats want it more. That's why they don't want a wall. That's why they don't want a wall, because they're for globalism. But don't get me wrong, I don't think they're like sitting on it right now going, oh, we got to do this in the next 50 years. They're probably looking 500 years. I hope they are. I mean, I don't know why the computer thinks that this shit has to happen in 2021, which is literally what this computer wants to happen. Okay? So one stone could have done that. Now, let's say you had that one stone doing that, and then DOD or maybe Russia together in cahoots, possibly. I'm not sure. I'm tied to both of them somehow, so just go figure. Now you got a stone that comes over here to level the playing field, right? Because it will go, and like the Republicans that it was normally going to take over, that this one was going to try to pull over to the left, or the independent as it was going to try to push it over to the left. You know, it might have kind of leveled the playing field. And I'm sure that that's never going to actually come out. I'm going to post it because they got the authority to shadow ban this shit, and they got all my shit hacked. So I'm just anxious to see what flies and what doesn't, to be honest with you. But I guarantee you that never comes out because you just got to think class action lawsuit here. I mean, if it turns out that the government knew about this and instead of just telling the truth, countered it with another stone, well, now you got a problem. You got a huge fucking problem. Because the most common man isn't going to debate the fact that, well, our only other option would have been a nuclear fucking war. Or, you know, bombing whoever was responsible for it. People, elite, that are in a lot of power. And whenever they found out that, you know, the Department of Defense or somebody like that, it could have just wreaked havoc on the world, and it would have been a surprise. So they tried to do it the quiet way, and hopefully that it would never come out. Maybe they did want it to come out, and they didn't think it through all the way that, oh yeah, all these people are going to want to fucking sue us. And there's ways around that. I'd already given them another video on how to solve that problem, which I'm sure that one will get shadow banned too. But I've already got that problem solved. But this video was just to point that out, that you could use one artificial intelligence to split the country. Now, you decide who would want to do that. And I'm not sure. I don't think anybody knows exactly who's behind this shit. But I guarantee you the media is one Borg, okay? They are all driven by the same stone. I will keep repeating this. If right-wing media wanted to destroy the left, I have a book about that thick, okay, of news stories and dirt that would bury the left. And that may be a lot of why I got tortured, because the CIA's got a lot of dirt on them too in this book. And I'm not trying to fuck with you, CIA. I'm really not. I'm actually just adding the shit to my resume. I figure maybe I'll blackmail my way into director there. Seeing how you can't torture me anymore, and you found out that Lockheed Martin's got y'all by the balls. Well, you could probably use a good agent like me. Come over there, might even have some ties to the KGB. I'd be a hell of an asset.